Hi, thanks for checking our channel. Here, this is going to be, I'm hoping, a finished up repair video on this particular unit. This is a Parmak Mark 6 that came to us for repair. My dad was originally working on it, but he's stepped away to do some stuff, so he has to, hey, can you see if you can get this one finished off? So I'm going to try. Well, it's running better than what it was. We still got an issue. What it's doing is it runs for a few pulses. It goes all the way to green and then falls on its face. Before, it would barely click and then fall down and then stop. So it's clicking better, but still shutting itself down. What we've done so far is we installed a new board because it was the original board from 1998, and then the PTC switch, the something positive thermal coefficient, I think that stands for. We replaced that because it was black, it was bad. So usually when this goes, Parmak recommends a change at the board as well. So I think we did this first, and then went ahead and did that because they tie together, and per Parmak's rules, when this goes, replace the board at the same time. So we did that per their rules, but now it's acting better. Still not right. My dad said he checked the capacitor. It reads decent. It's like 18 out of 20, but it's not quite right. I'm wondering if even though it tests fairly okay within the 10% specs, that maybe it is still internally got some issues. So I've got this one here. I don't have this is a 20. The only one I got that's got a bolt on the back, or not on the back style stud mount, is a 30. I can put a 30 in here, but I don't want to. I want to keep it at 20 like it's got. And the only 20 I've got that will work in this is this square one here, and we can fasten this one up against the case there with some double-sided foam tape or some epoxy. But I gotta get tested and temporarily install it, and then we'll see if it'll go to working. So if you got a Parac Mark 5 or a Mark 6 or a Mark 7, 8 or an SE3, any of their older ones or newer ones, we definitely take a look at it. The only Parmak that we cannot fix, depending on what's wrong with it, is the Mark 4s and the SE1s. Those ones, if the boards are gone, we can't fix those because boards aren't no longer made, but transformers and everything else are still made for that model. So what I'm going to do, the only thing I hope that it isn't is that input transformer. I hope it's not that, because they're a pain in the neck to get out, and because they're got really big bushing rivets that are riveted to the case, and you can't just drill them because the angle you have to get on them is not able to really got at, if that's the right word and phrase to use, with a drill bit to drill those rivets out. So you usually got to bash them out with I even use a cold stone chisel, a thin one, and a small sledge. So there's no real polarity to these capacitors, but we do have to put the right wires together in the right spot. So I'm going to cut these. I'm going to strip these back. We'll put some solder on there, and then we're going to solder these two right there, and put the other two right there. And then we'll plug it in, and man, it might just go to working just fine. If it does the same thing, then it's not the capacitor, and most likely it's a stupid input transformer's not working right. And I hope it's not that, because like I said, they are a royal pain in the butt to install. Sit down there, stupid capacitor. I need to sit still for a second. One wire. 2 wires. Oh, I don't like the way that one's on there. It's on there, but not very good. So I'm having a hard time seeing because there's I can see a little bit better. All right, there's that one. Now we'll get one side of the transformer wired on. Just tinning the wires. All right, now we'll slide this wire on here. This wire on here. Oh, hot. Ooh, hot. All right. All right, I'm going to go ahead and plug it in as it sits. Let's see what it does. Let's set that right. And hopefully nothing's touching. It shouldn't be touching. All right, count of 3. I'm going to turn it on my power strip. 1, 2, 3. See? Did the same thing. See, it started off real good. Turn it off. Shot all the way over the green for a few times, and it shut itself back down again. Yep. So, capacitor's not our issue. I was hoping that's what it was. So I need to call the customer. We'll reattach it. I'm gonna stop this video because I got to make a phone call. I'm gonna put these wires back on the capacitor like they had them before. I gotta see if I got the transformer in stock, which I think I do. But now I gotta quote them for the input transformer, PTC switch, as well as the board, and a little labor for doing it. So capacitor's not our issue. I didn't think it was, but easier to install that on here than deal with this stupid thing, because it's got this big old bushing rivet there, and you can't just drill it out because it's tucked down inside here. And you've also got one down inside there as well. They're just a thicker type of rivet type thing, and you can't drill them off. So the way that we got to get them out, we take a cold stone chisel, thin one, and we get between the case and that little flap there, and we beat the crap out of it and just break it off on both sides. And it takes some finesse and some persuasion. The only other way to do it, if you want to use a drill bit, is you get this board out of the way again, and there's 3 rivets that are holding this metal plate to this frame, and you can drill down through those, and then you can pick this whole metal thing up, turn it, and then you can drill those out. But then we got to bolt this thing back down to the case as well as bolt that back on. So I usually try to save some time. I don't have to move all this crap out of the way. Is just bash the shizzle out of this thing here, get that transformer out of there, get another one wired up in there, and then we'll put a nut and bolt on there to bolt this thing back down to this frame here. But yeah, we got to dig a little deeper, but I need to quote them first for everything and make sure they want to proceed. It's not going to be cheap, but not super expensive. I mean, a new one's called the Mark 8, and they're like $160 or whatever, give or take, for a new one. So, I mean, the labor is going to be, about $20 for us to do the whole thing, and then whatever parts costs are. So it's going to add up a little bit. Plus, I got the return shipping, which is like, I don't know where they're located, between $15 and $20 probably to mail the thing back. So they're going to have, about $40 just in shipping and labor. And then, this is pretty cheap. That's not super expensive, but not, super cheap. And this is not super expensive. It's just a pain in the neck to get this dumb thing out. So, but anyways, that's one of the things we got to deal with on repairs on working on stuff. So if you got a fence charger or Parmak or whatever model, you're welcome to send this in to us for us to look at and go through it for you. It will be a free quote every time, and then we can go from there. But anyways, until next time, we'll see you guys later on. Hope you have a good rest of your day, and see you later.